It usually happens around 2 in the morning. You are lying awake, staring at the ceiling, months after a breakup, when the logic of your past behavior finally comes into focus. In that moment, you probably wish you could travel back to your very first date, pull up a chair, and give your younger self one crucial piece of advice to save them the trouble. We can't travel backward, but that insight is incredibly valuable. Every ache and confusing moment from your past is actually writing your own personalized instruction manual, a guide for how to connect better next time. Think of it as your Hindsight handbook. This is how we build emotional intelligence. You are taking those difficult, retroactive realizations and turning them into practical skills you can use in the future. That "I wish I knew" feeling is not a sign that you failed. It is the specific process human beings use to prepare themselves for a healthier, more mature connection. The first major lesson often involves looking back at the exhausting effort of trying to keep a partner happy at all costs. You might notice times where you were shrinking your own identity or hiding your needs just to avoid a difficult conversation. But when you hide who you really are, the connection becomes hollow, because your partner is only interacting with a version of you that doesn't really exist. The habit of constant agreement fails to bring you the deep affection you were looking for. We often view a boundary as a brick wall designed to block people out, but rethink that. It becomes a clear, highlighted path. These paths act as a literal instruction manual. Speaking up about your limits shows others exactly how to interact with you safely. Setting these expectations does not push a good partner away. It provides the necessary structure a relationship needs to survive over the long term. A second realization hits when you remember those old arguments that started because your partner came to you to vent and you immediately tried to solve their problem. This usually happens because many of us view solving a problem as the most logical way to show we care. We treat an emotional struggle like a technical glitch that needs a manual. But when someone is overwhelmed, throwing tactical logic at them can make them feel dismissed. They don't want an action plan yet. They want to know they are being heard. This split screen shows the difference. On the left is a consultant, dissecting the puzzle to find a solution. On the right is a teammate, simply sitting beside the rain cloud to offer support. In moments of distress, a partner requires the safety of being understood. The tactical game plan can wait until the storm passes. The toughest retrospective lesson almost always involves someone you loved deeply, but who you ultimately had to walk away from anyway. This teaches you to separate the visceral emotion of love from the daily logistics of compatibility, which is how you actually prefer to live. This bright heart represents the strong feeling of love, but look at the gears next to it. If you have different life goals or financial habits, those gears will grind and jam, no matter how bright the heart glows. A long-term relationship is a massive logistics project. To build a shared life, you need identical blueprints and the ability to match each other's pace. When a relationship fails, it doesn't mean the love was fake. It means the logistical blueprints for your lives were simply mismatched. When you piece these lessons together, learning how to draw boundaries, how to listen without fixing, and how to spot real compatibility, you can see how much you have grown. Those difficult years and painful breakups were never a waste. They were essential data-gathering missions. You cannot bypass these truths, and you cannot learn them from a book. We have to experience the friction firsthand to figure out what works for us. Because of that, hindsight should never be used to punish yourself for what you didn't know yet. Instead, treat your hindsight like the lantern you see here. You lift it up to clear the mist and use it to illuminate the path toward your next great connection. Take a moment to reflect on your own past loves. Think about the friction you have experienced and ask yourself, what advice is waiting right now on page 1 of your Hindsight handbook?